I'm Allendale's Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Latest check of the surface analysis shows a warm front moving across the central plains. This is going to lead to a slight bump in temperatures across the hard red winter wheat areas as we go through today and likely into tomorrow. Bottom's going to fall out there as we finish out Sunday and go into Monday, but that doesn't change anything here short term. Looking north, we've got a frontal boundary complex diving southward over northern Minnesota. This is another wave of cold Arctic air that's going to be working its way down across the rest of the country. Look for temperatures as we go from Saturday night into Sunday morning to bottom out well below zero down to I-80. We're probably going to be seeing below zero temperatures down south of I-80, maybe to the US 24 corridor across Illinois and Indiana, and then single digits south of that. But this isn't the biggest and most expansive push of cold air. That still is on the way for the middle of next week. Temperatures Wednesday night, Thursday morning probably will be the coldest, with double digits below zero down to the I-80 corridor, below zero numbers down close to I-70, and then single digits south of there. We'll see temperatures down pushing to near the freezing mark all the way down into central Florida. So that's where the coldest air is. Precipitation still looks to be fairly decent in the second half of the forecast time frame, watching as the system comes across southern Missouri, southern Illinois, and into southern Indiana as we go from late Sunday through Monday. Best snows are probably going to be at or just south of the Ohio River, but we're going to have to keep an eye on actual snows in the forecast all the way up to about I-70. Go farther north from there, we won't see a lot of action. This will turn out to be a mid-Atlantic snow event as it moves on east toward the middle of next week. As we go from there, also going to be paying attention for another system to come in toward the end of next week and the weekend. This one looks like it could be all snow across most of the nation's midsection, maybe potentially heavy snow from I-70 northward. Where it gets tricky is down south. I-70 southward, is it going to be all snow? Is there going to be rain that mixes in, or do we see all rain? Models are kind of up in the air on this right now, but currently leaning toward a rain-to-rain-snow mix along and south of I-70 next weekend. The pattern continues to look very active in the extended forecast period. Systems trying to come out of the desert southwest. However, the American model started to flip-flop a bit on this kind of pattern yesterday. Still doesn't want to come down and take a side yet. So international models seem to be better honed in on the pattern in the extended period. We'll have to just wait and see what the GFS does. However, we all know that people pay attention to that forecast from the GFS a little bit more because it's so easily accessible. What about the South American area? Not seeing a lot of excitement there. Rain, yeah, it's still in the forecast. Models are still showing great 10-day rain totals across most of Brazil's soybean areas, almost excessive rain totals across Brazilian corn areas, specifically looking at Paraná as being maybe a trouble spot, at least in my opinion, on getting too much rain. We'll see if everything verifies. We do go through the tail end of the forecast period next week, though, and see the rains kind of fall off a little bit, so maybe that'll give an opportunity to use some of that moisture. The 10-day weather charts, the 10-day precipitation totals don't seem to change much here over the past 3-4 model runs. That tells me as we're adding days, as we're adding panels to the end of the run, we're not increasing the totals. That says that we're probably not seeing as much rain later in the forecast period as what we'll see here the next, let's say 3, 4, 5 days or so. Temperatures getting cool in Argentina, maybe enough to pique a few interests, maybe raise a few eyebrows, but it's not going to be problematic. Most of that's due to a strong high-pressure dome that comes in after next week's front. And we continue to see dryness spreading across the former Soviet Union and Russian grain areas as well. Nothing coming in here short-term that's going to be changing that. That's the way your forecast is stacking up. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.